Hi guys, this is SDJRSNF88 speaking with another layout-channel update with a bit of news and information as well. So we'll start off with the news and information then we'll crack on with the update. And I do apologise if the lens steams up like the last update on this because it's very, very cold and I'm very cold now, and you can probably hear there's a heater on up here as well. So let's get started. Right, news. Well, progress has been quite slow over the past fortnight on the yard conversion, purely because of a number of things. The first thing is, of course, my holiday last weekend. Basically, I went down to Torquay, and I hope you enjoyed those videos I filmed at the Barbican Model Village, the Peyton and Dartmouth Railway, and of course the Trago Mills Miniature Railway. And I can't thank the driver enough on that day for putting on putting on quite a show with that little engine. That was fabulous. That was for recording that day. So yeah, that's why there weren't very many very many videos over that weekend, sort of thing, and no update and whatever. But I wasn't planning on doing a weekly update on this because I knew that progress would be very, very slow, unlike on the Compton Martin and Compton Key, which was quite quick. So anyway, other news. As you know, well, some of you know that we're on RM Web. I've been doing a bit of weathering this week. Someone bought my wagon very kindly from one of my wagons. I think 2 leftover wagons now at Signals Models. There's only 1 left. And basically he bought my wagon and he checked it over in the shop and he thought I did such a good job on it. It was the 13-ton open wagon. There's a picture of it, quite a few videos back. I did it in about springtime. But he bought that one and he was so pleased with my weathering, he's actually commissioned me to weather a whole fleet of his wagons and maybe even some locomotives. So I'll be very, very busy doing a lot of weathering this week. I'm sure that he'll allow me to photograph and do maybe a few videos of these wagons when they're complete, sort of thing, to upload and show you guys, what I've done with his wagon, sort of thing. But I've got quite a few wagons basically coming, so I'll be very, very busy doing painting and weathering up these wagons for him. And also he said, would I be able to weather some locomotives? And one of the videos this week, hopefully, will be a video of my first ever weathered locomotive. Signals kindly lent me a locomotive. I haven't bought it yet, but I do plan to purchase it. Well, I did purchase it originally. It's a bit of a long story with this engine, but to cut the long story short, I bought the engine at the Compton Martin Model Railway exhibition, sort of to remember the event by, only to find it was the 6th engine that I bought that did not run from the box. So basically, it went back to Signals, and it was and it's basically a dud model. So they kindly donated it to me because I said I'm hoping to weather up some locomotives. So they kindly donated it to me for free to weather up, and I weathered it up, and I was over the moon with the results I managed to achieve with it, with the Humbrol powders and stuff. And I hope you will see that from my videos. I know some of you have seen my photos of it on RM Web, and I'm totally over the moon with it. And basically, I gave it a bit of a test run on the track here, back and forth, to test a bit of work that I'll talk about in a second, and amazingly the fault has seemed to have fixed itself and it now runs. So I'm hoping to purchase that engine outright, so it'd be mine, because it's my first weathered locomotive. And funny enough, I don't own any of my hand weathered stuff. All the stuff I've hand weathered, all the wagons and stuff that you've seen in my videos, I don't own any of them. I sold them because because people thought I've done such a good job with them. So it'd be nice to keep the first locomotive that I've weathered up basically. And I wanted this pannier sort of thing, and sadly it didn't. Not pannier, Prairie. Ugh, I got them modelled up. I bought this Prairie. It was a Batman Prairie, a 45XX. Got modelled up there. But I bought it at the show, and I've always wanted one, sort of thing. And now it works, and it's hand weathered, and we'll hopefully see that in a video this week. It will be running on Compton Key most likely, due to obviously the mess over here, and obviously Compton Martin being out of action, under there, sort of thing, in storage. And also because the lighting is not very good with Compton Martin up here. Anyway, the lens is starting to steam up now, I can see. So yeah. Anyway, bringing swiftly on to Compton Martin. I know Matthew Modeler 229. He's doing a big mega service around the start of December, and he wants me to film my part of the service, which is with 2 little Hornby tank engines on Compton Martin. Now, basically, this is a bit of information for you, Matthew. would it be possible if I could film my part of the service on Compton Quay? Purely because it'll be easier to get running, as I know we've only got about a week left until this service starts. It'll be easier for me to film it on Compton Quay. Also, I got much better lighting on Compton Quay, so I hope you honestly don't mind this. I'm sure I've messaged you about this already, but if that's okay with you, that'd be perfect. So that's another video to come this week. Then there's another video, which is quite an interesting video, called SDJR CNF 88 on the air. And now I'll do a separate little video about that, and I will explain it in there, but it's quite interesting. So stay tuned for that video, but it's called SDJR CNF 88 on the air. If you can guess what that means, well, say what you think it's going to be in the comment section, and I'm sure you'll be pleasantly surprised if this if this idea goes ahead. And last of all, the bit of news that I'm sure you'll be all very interested in is that I'm sure there's I plan to do an update video this week on the next Compton Martin Model Railway exhibition. Yes, I'm already starting to plan the next Compton Martin Model Railway exhibition. I was going to save it till spring to start planning it, sort of thing. But what I learned from my last, what I learned for the first ever Compton Martin exhibition is you can never have enough time for planning. So I'm going to start now, and basically that update video will basically be tossing about the idea of what date the event should be held on, sort of thing. So any people that are thinking about bringing layouts to that will basically watch that video and comment on what date's the best for you, and I'll narrow it down to the nearest date that most people say it's okay, sort of thing. So if any of you are coming, let's say want to come to the event from quite a distance away, say like Yorkshire or something, you can book a weekend down here or something and make a holiday of the event, sort of thing. So I hope that's okay with you, sort of thing. But that's all for the news, and now we'll crack on with the layout update. I'm very sorry about doing this sort of video, but I've got a lot to chat about, sort of thing, and I'm going to split it all into separate videos as I just mentioned. But now on to the main thing. Sadly, with the camera starting to steam up, the layout update. As I just mentioned, I've been very, very busy, so not much has happened to the layout, but a bit has. As you can see, or probably have seen, the layout, the yard I mean, has totally been stripped of all the ballast and all the track. It looks like there's ballast in certain areas, but that's just glue stains. But it's all been stripped back to bare wood now, ready for the new track plan to go in there. Now, I'm going to probably do a separate update next weekend. As you can see, the camera's... Oh my god, the camera's steaming up. Anyway, but yeah, I'll probably do a separate update with some designs, but on what you should, because I want to ask you what design should I do. But I'll discuss through the idea of what I have at the moment for the track plan. As you know, the white line there and the one next to it was the engine shed. There, those my ideal plan, the one that I'm thinking of going with, will basically be the front sidings will all stay the same. So the track will come around here instead of being a pair of points there, because that was quite sharp there as a radius 1, so no engines could really get in there. There'll be a radius 2 there instead of that pair of points. Normal straight like last time, left hand pair of points there. The inspection pits are all in the same place. Sadly, it's quite close to that corner, so no engines will be able to park on there when an engine's running along there, if you get my drift. I know that trains, trams and trolleys knows that sort of problem, but that's my problem there in that area. But I'm going to keep that there because it's going to be too hard to cut the wood out in another section for the inspection pits, and obviously I've got a great gaping hole there and I can't really ballast over it, if you know what I mean. I can put a bit of card over the top of it and then ballast over the top of that, but that means I can't put track on it, so because it'd be unlevel. So I'm going to keep the inspection pits there, and also it'll give me two perfect lines for the engine shed, and also this little yard here, which will just be cut down to one siding, as I never really used that, and that was really old rusty track in there. I don't think I ever used it, and it's been up here for like 7 years and I never really used that siding, so I'm going to put it as one siding and have it as the coaling and watering sort of depot sort of thing for the shed there. So I'm going to be water tower and a coaling sort of thing, building, or whatever it was that is there, with a coal pile under it. It had, I'm not sure, but it's basically like a hopper and the coal went down the top. I'm not sure the reason why it's there, but anyway, I can have it there like a loading coal area as well, sort of thing, and that means it gives me much more area in there to put like a tarmac area and put little trucks and bits and pieces, a bit like Compton Martin's sorry, I've got two models up there. Compton Martin's goods yard area, sort of thing. And then, instead of having all those, the two sidings going along the back there, I was thinking, and having that pair of points there, I was thinking about having the pair of points there, right after this left hand, splitting off, and then having one siding going into a goods shed. As you know, there was a goods shed there. But the thing is, it was 2 roads, so there was on the original one, as you know, there was a goods shed there, and there'd be railway going into the actual goods shed, and then one going on the other side into the platform, which made really no sense, you know, changing goods onto one wagon onto another when they're both on the same route, if you know what I mean. So instead of that, I'm just going to have the one siding there now, and have a little sort of, you know, again, tarmacked area going out for the arches with trucks and all that, again, like Compton Martin. I was also thinking about having a pair of points there, and then having another sort of siding, but going under one of the arches to create this sort of the optical illusion that maybe the line went off under the aqueduct, which is going to stay there, and basically you know, went off to a factory or colliery on the other side, sort of thing. Give that optical illusion. And maybe I might do what I did with Compton Martin, I'm not sure, and have another pair of points in there, and then like reverse it, you know, like what I did with the isolating switch, and maybe have another little siding going back that way. But really, I don't want an extra, I don't want that line, that back line there sort of thing, because I want to build this up. As many people are saying, you know, it looks a bit weird having the 2 tunnel mouths on the aqueduct, which you can hardly see now. I'm very sorry about this, but it just shows how cold it is up here. And basically, you know, there's, you know, it doesn't give a good feel for where the tunnels are to, sort of thing, on the aqueduct. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cover up those 2 tracks. I'm probably going to take out that signal box and put another one in down there somewhere. I'm going to build up this area with that, and also I'm going to redo this rock face, like on Compton Martin, you know, with that nice sort of rock effect. But I'm going to have like a rock effect area, but then have a slow grassy hill on top of that, which will lead up to the tunnel mouths on the aqueduct and give that really nice feel there for that. And then I'll probably, on that side, I'll probably do a sheer rock face. I know that it's will probably look a bit weird with a sheer rock face, but there's no real way of going about it with because I can't really you know, blend the hill down in there with all the goods shed and all that. So a nice rock face will do, you know, something a bit interesting sort of thing. But you know, it'll look much better than the blank white wall there. Now I'm not sure what to do with the RSJ. Well, the cameras did a pretty good demonstration of it, but the RSJ tends to have a problem with condensation, and I did have a little back scene up there, and as you know, but it got damp and got mouldy, which is obviously bad. Obviously it's a bit better up here now. It's not much, you know, not as bad as it used to be damp wise. That's why all my rolling stock is in boxes, safe out the way sort of thing. But you know what I mean, I'm thinking of what should I do to cover up the RSJ, because I've got to try and figure out how to cover up the metal on the RSJ. Should I build like a wooden box over it and cover it in, sort of thing, so no mould can, you know, not no mould, but no condensation can get on it and affect the scenery in front of it. So tell me your opinion on that. Another thing that's happened this week, which I've done, is I've replaced these 2 pairs of points here. These are the new Pico ones I mentioned about in the last update. They've been replaced, and I've slightly straightened out this bit of track, all ready for ballasting. I've also removed all the horrible ballasting along that area. As you know, there's really coarse ballast there, which is sitting on the side of the track, and it looked, covering up all the sleepers, and it looked really bad. So I've ripped that all up, and that's ready for ballasting. But I don't plan to ballast until I've done this back area and, you know, sort of work my way towards, so I don't have to lean over any of the new area, sort of thing. Also, I've ripped up all this ballasted area again, which was supposed to be a tarmac yard, but again I used coarse ballast, and I'm thinking of using that tarmac paint, so it would join onto the end of this card here, because I haven't got very much of that tarmac paint. I might be able to get some more, I don't know how, but I might have to ask #1 classic car fan to borrow his pot again, which I bought for him after using up his whole pot on Compton Martin sort of thing, so I might have to borrow that off of him again. But you never know, I might end up redoing all of this area, road area, with that tarmac paint, because that's pretty good stuff. And then reballasting this, and as you know, there's that big hut that will go on there. I might also clay over the end of the rail, as you can see it's quite narrow, that little road there, and obviously you've got a big articulated truck. I might put that back in a box or something, store that, because it's a bit out of period with what I tend to mostly run on the layout sort of thing. But I might tarmac over the end of the track, you know, with the sort of like the cobble, not the cobble effect, but, you know, like a tarmacy effect, but, you know, using the same theory as the cobbles. As I told you in the previous update, the turntable doesn't work. I might be able to get it going, but as you can see, it's quite a lot of, as you can probably hear, there's quite a lot of play in the height of it. but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to reinstall the track there because I had all shoddy ballasting around there as well. It was brown ballast, so it didn't blend in with the grey ballast I'm going to use. So I'm going to redo that as well. But even if the turntable isn't working, it's still a nice little siding, big enough for a prairie or a pannier or some other well-sized tank to fit in there. A sort of while other trains are running around. So it's still still in the idea of well, it can still be used basically, sort of thing, but not in the turntable sort of sense. But anyway. Well, there's been another update on the layout sort of thing, and I'm sorry for the slow progress, and it will be very slow. As I told you, there's a lot of weathering to do, but there'll still be videos to come on sort of things, and will be reviews when the new locos come out, and I will do a review on my weathered pannier tank. Not pannier. Keep on saying it. I never used to make a mistake, but now I love the Somerset Dorset so much I've forgotten all about the GWR. But anyway, my weathered prairie, my 45XX, I will do a review on that when I purchase it, sort of thing. But there will be a small running video, hopefully coming this week on Compton Quay, of it, showing it in action, or showing it in detailed, basically showing the weathering I've done on it, also with some of the showing the weathering, also with some pictures, so I can show you a bit more in detail the weathering on it. I won't be talking in that video, I'll just show it running, and I'll show the pictures with a bit of music maybe. Then of course it'll be an informational video about SDJR SNF 88 on the air. So yeah, not sure if that won't be coming this week. I've got to get a bit more information about this sort of event that's happening, let's just say, in a couple of weeks. And then of course the all-important Compton Martin Model Railway exhibition, the second Compton Martin Model Railway exhibition update, the first one on that event, on the next event to come, sort of thing. Getting modelled up here, too cold. But yeah, I'll do a little update on that. Getting your idea on dates, and obviously anybody who's interested in bringing a layout, sort of thing. So yeah, so quite a lot to come, but slow progress on the layout, but I'm glad I brought it all up. It was very hard trying to rip it all up, but I've got there in the end. So anyway, that's all for now. The camera's steamed up again as usual. It's starting to oh no, and it's still the same. But anyway, this has been SDJR SNF 88 speaking, and thanks for watching.